Hey, this is Tiffany, or Visionista. I am making a video about photo reading. I have had so many people reach out to me over the past couple of years. They saw me on the DVD, and I sometimes have answered questions. I actually had an email that I created where I sent it out to everyone who was asking me questions, trying to make sure that I was answering them because I didn't have the time to work with all the people who were asking me questions. And recently, someone again just came out of nowhere, found me on Twitter, asked me about photo reading, and even I think a month ago, someone again found me on Facebook and asked me about photo reading. So I thought it might be helpful if I made this video. People can reference it, and then if they have more questions, they can ask me. Hopefully I can answer all of your basic questions. I did the photo reading seminar back in, I think it was 2003, 2004. It was my senior year of high school. Quite a ways ago. I do still photo read. I think photo reading is probably one of the most helpful tools that anyone can utilize for the rest of their life. And there were a lot of principles and techniques that I learned in photo reading that I've been able to transfer to learning different topics and new topics. The whole philosophy behind photo reading is that we think with our whole mind. And that when we learn new information, we're making connections with information that we already have in our mind. But in addition to that, we are taking the new information, we're assimilating it, and it makes sense only when we can connect the new dots and bring them together, in addition to latching them on to information that we already have reserved in our mind and our memory. So what happens in photo reading is you are exposing your mind to the entire book. You look through the entire book, you flip through all the pages. I'll do a magazine. So you look through it, and I actually do photo read a lot of magazines because I'm a huge visual person, which you probably can tell just by looking at me. So what happens is you expose your mind to all of the information before you actually go in for the details. And they recommend you photo read the book, and then you ideally give it 24 hours before you go back, and then you look at it and you gather the information that is most relevant to you and why you are really intrigued by the book or the magazine. I know you can photo read something and then 30 minutes later also go back and start sorting the information in your mind, integrating it, and gathering what you want to out of it. But I would say a sleep cycle definitely makes a big difference in terms of the depth of your knowledge of the new information that you are taking in. What I have found to be very helpful when doing photo reading is when I go back to the information and I activate it. Obviously I've done all the steps, and I have somewhat revised it to be somewhat more oriented in terms of how I think and work. But the foundation, the principles that photo reading teaches, that Paul Shilley teaches through his company Learning Strategies, I think they're absolutely important. And if you follow them and then maybe somewhat navigate a little bit away from them and create your own principles within the foundation, you won't have a problem. But what I have found is when I go back to activate information to read the book, that it's almost like my mind already recognizes the new information. It's already been exposed to that word, and even though I'm now integrating it, learning it at a deeper level, it's much easier to assimilate it and to make more lasting connections to the new information, because, like I said, it's like I've already been exposed to it, which I have, and that is the whole idea behind photo reading. Your other than conscious brain, you are quickly exposing it to the words, to the images, and then when you go back, it's like looking at a picture again. Oh, I recognize it. And now that your mind, your brain has already processed the larger picture, it can pick up details that were there initially, but you might not have been able to partake in them or to notice their significance because it was too much information for your brain at once. And that's, you know, brain overload, information overload. You can only take in so much at once, and every person has a different capacity in terms of how quickly they learn, how much they can remember. But I believe photo reading is something that anyone can truthfully use, and it's a matter of how serious you are about learning it and continuously using it in whatever you are doing. I mean, truthfully, I mean, knowledge is how we gain access to new opportunities. We understand how to do something, or we're an expert in a certain field, and you know, that's how new opportunities open up. And if you can add something into your repertoire which makes understanding information easier, then it's definitely worth it. We are all different learners. We all learn information at different rates, and we also all assimilate the information in different capacities. Some people can sit down and read a book and you can ask them questions and they know all the answers, and the person could have read the same book and maybe they understand it, but it's somewhat more difficult for them to reiterate the facts. I did go to the photo reading seminar. Obviously, you know that from the DVD. You can learn photo reading on your own. Most people, though, they get that package and it probably sits in their closet. They have so many doubts and concerns that they never really fully tested out. Going to the seminar was an absolutely incredible experience for me. Of course, doing the DVD was fun. I never knew that was going to happen, and I challenged myself to do it. It was something I was actually very, very nervous doing that, and hopefully, I mean, you didn't pick up on that, and I don't think, you know, I look back and I'm like, no one can tell I'm nervous, but, you know, I was terrified. And because additionally, you know, I had been photo reading a little bit before, but I was still a beginner. I wasn't an expert, and they really challenged me. They put me to the test, and you know, in front of the audience, and on the DVD, I had to recall certain things, and I just, you know, I left it up to the universe, saying, well, if photo reading really works, then I want to be able to answer these questions, and if it doesn't, then, you know, I'm not, and there's nothing I can do about that. And obviously, I mean, I was able to answer those questions, and as you are surprised on watching the DVD, I was really surprised too, and it was a great experience for me. Let's see, activating is just really a matter of practice. Make sure you are asking yourself the right questions, and know that, you know, just like with any new endeavor, you will get better at it. You will become more precise as you utilize it more and more. You can photo read anything. I am about 70% fluent in Spanish. I don't know where I come up with a percentage, but and I photo read books in Spanish just to expose my mind to the visual aspect. Because, you know, processing information is not only auditory, visual, but it's other processes too. And so you can use photo reading for anything. If you have questions, please know what your question is. You can reach out to me on Facebook, message me, and I will answer your question. I hope this video was helpful for you. I definitely recommend photo reading, and I still do photo read. Thank you for your time.